Hey y'all, I don't know what kind of video this is. It's not squealing squirrel mail, it's kind of acquisitions. You know, Darn Good Yarn had that darn good sale, and I think it's still on. I should have checked before I came on, but go check my community tab. Go through my affiliate link if you're interested for Darn Good Yarn. It's on my community tab. There's several places there I talk about it. The warehouse clearance, 75% off. Y'all, this yarn bowl was like $59 down to 14 something, I think it was, because I get a little discount as well since I get the membership box each month. And I was expecting, which I love, this little bowl, but look, it's a lot big. Well, not a lot bigger, but it fits inside. Not that you would want to do that, but. And so I told Dana, Delicious Dana, Triple C, because she was looking, you know, they had the rooster bowl, and they probably still do, rooster bowl, cat bowl, that were also $50. Like I said, this one was had been $59, but I got it for 75% off, so it was less than $15. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Doesn't have DGY stamped on it like the other one does. But, I mean, you know, that's not a big deal. But I kind of do like that. You see that? And it kind of looked like on the site that it was more, you know, that the wood looked more like this. See how it's kind of spotted in places, which I love. But this is pretty too, just the stripes. And I don't know if they're, you know, they're all different, probably a little bit anyway. But you know what was really cool about it? It was wrapped up in this newspaper, which is from India, I reckon. I know one thing, I can't read it, but it's interesting just to look at it and look at the pictures and stuff. Isn't that cool? Well, anyway, I'm easily amused. You know, I showed y'all this the other day, and I never put the link on, but it's just this, or right here it is, www. A is capitalized and the K in creative, spelled with a K, thread.com. They hardly have much of anything on there. There's like, I think 5 or 6, and this is acrylic, but y'all, this is the most, Dana, delicious yarn. I'm gonna have to get some more, but it's just acrylic and it's $7. It doesn't even tell you, nowhere on the site does it tell you unless I missed it. The colorway on this is Sunset, like how much is in here. It looks like a worsted weight, and I don't know. But I got these 2 colors, and they have, like I said, like 3 more. I'm doing this 1 row lace repeat like I did for the Advent scarf. My thought was to make a scarf with these. You know, do this maybe color blocks or stripes. But I'm tempted to get more, but I'll just use what I got, cause I gotta watch spending, y'all. Y'all know I got this when it was on sale. You know, I went to Hobby Lobby today again just to see what was there. The yarn was 30% off. Don't need yarn at all, but so this was $1.99 instead of $6.99. But they had more of these bags, but they were not on sale. Very same thing. See that? It's full. Now I had some of these already. I picked up these. Big old just aluminum Yarnology. Had been $7.99 down to $1.99. These are size 17s, 20, 29-inch, so good for a good length for cows. And the rest of these, I believe, woo, now these are not on sale, the cords, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess they're coming out with new tips, because every one of these, Knitter's Pride, Color Play, were all on sale for 75% off. So I got all the sizes they had. Let's see, I got a 11, a 10, 10 and a half. Here's another 10. Like I say, I already had some from the other day or last week. Oh, this is covering this up. I'm not sure what this one is, but it looks like a 6 or a 7. There it is, 7. It's a 7. Here's an 8, another 10, and a 15. And then I have all these cords, you know, these screw on, the tips screw on to these. So these were $2.99 each for these. And like I said, I already had a couple. And then I bought 4 more today. They were what? $2.99. Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? And then these were different prices depending on what sizes. You know, the larger sizes, like the size 15, were $10.99 to begin with. And I got them for $2.74. I mean, you can't beat it. So that was the most. The others are $2.24, and then the smaller ones, like the size 7, were $1.99. The 10 was $2.24. I think all the others were, yeah, the 10 and a half was $2.49, 11 $2.49. Did I say that right a while ago? $2.49. But the 7 was $1.99. I guess I said that right. 8's $2.24. 10 $2.24. And this was, you know, $2.74 for the biggest size, but all the rest were less than that. So I thought it was a good deal. I'm always needing more. I wouldn't need more if I wouldn't start new projects, but we know how I am, so I may as well get it while the getting's good. But I have to stop. Got to stop. I guess that's it. I just wanted to show you these again. I'm just in love with this stuff. Oh. And I'm just trying to remember where I was when I saw these. It may have been, I need to go back and look. It may have been Nancy Dormeyer. She's got yarn too, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I love it. And like I say, they only have a few things. I think they've got some scissors, like the, you know, unicorn type scissors. And then they've got, I think it's 5 or 6, but I want to say 5 different colors of these. But I just love these. Sunset, and I'll tell you what the pink was. Pink's Fly Away. And like I say, it doesn't even say how much is in there, but I would guess 200-ish yards. So I'm just going to make a scarf out of mine. Like I say, just kind of stripes or color block or whatever, but it feels amazing. It feels so good. Hat from CVS drugstore. I reckon that's it. I just love my little wood bowl. Like I say, I was expecting one this size. So I'm pretty sure Dana ordered her one. She wanted, you know, she liked the rooster bowl and I think the kitty cat bowl too, but she said, I'm such a klutz, I'll break it. So, Dana, if you haven't gotten yours yet, it's a little bigger than maybe, I don't know. I was just, because I had those bowls already, and I've got other bowls from Darn Good Yarn, but they're bigger than this and taller. I'll have to have a show and tell one day of all my Darn Good Yarn bowls. which I've shown y'all in the past before, but some of y'all are brand new. I've got some questions to answer. I may as well go ahead in this, I suppose. It tells you how much I plan for what it is I'm going to tell y'all. And then I've got to do my reading. I just haven't been feeling that great today, but I always feel better when I get on here with you guys, but live. But anyway, this is a 10 crochet and or knitting questions tag, and it comes from my buddy Connie from Just Another Stitch. And she let me know that she did this, came out with these questions, and that she did, I watched her video. So please go over and give Just Another Stitch, my buddy Connie, give her a watch, and I hope subscribe and see how she answered these. I have not gone over them ahead of time to, I watched hers. But number 1, there's 10 questions. Number 1, how long have you been crocheting and or knitting? Well, knitting came first, as most of y'all know that have been with me for a while, when I was in 4th grade, so 9 or 10. And that was because I was in a 4-H group here in our wee little town of Faith, and we actually had an LYS, a local yarn store or shop. And the lady that owned it, I had to say she was crabby. I guess that's the only way to put it. But thank goodness our 4-H leaders were some wonderful ladies. And but we went there as a 4-H group, and I guess fellas too, because we had boys as well in the group. If you know anything about 4-H, it's, a lot of agricultural type stuff too, but also sewing. We made our little 4-H dresses, little green and white striped thing. I remember making that. I remember having a whole lot of help on it too. That and one, a hooded shirt that I made in high school and home ec were the only 2 items I've ever sewn. So I know that doesn't answer this question. But so knitting, way back when I was in 4th grade in 4-H. I remember, and I have the book. I should have brought it in here. I've shown it to y'all before too. I bought a book at that yarn store and my needles, and I guess the yarn too. But the yarn that I had was, I guess she must have had, unless I had something else, but it was Red Heart, and they still sell it. I'm not sure whether the name has changed, but I think it's something like Mexicana or Mexicali. But it's just like primary colors, variegated. And the book was $2. I saw, it was a pretty, substantial book. It's got quite a few patterns in it. But I think it's going to ask later what the first thing I made or whatever. So I guess I won't go into that. But anyway, so knitting way back when, but I don't really remember how long I stuck with it, but I didn't get back to it until probably really after I retired, and I just turned 62 and I retired at 52, so I guess been back at it about 10 years, so. And crocheting, I really just got into when I started my channel, which will be 2 years this May 17th. And because a lot of my buddies that came to my channel were crocheters. A lot of people I watched were crocheters. Okay, 2, how did I learn to crochet or knit? Well, learned to knit, like I said, at that the shop where the crabby lady owned. I don't remember the name of the shop or anything. The shop's still there. Or the building where it was. Of course, it's been gone. She's been gone a long time. The shop is, I don't really know how long it even existed, but let's see. How did I learn to crochet? Mainly through definitely through video tutorials and mainly Crystal Bod's Bag a Day. Yeah. So that was number 2. And number 3, what made you want to learn to crochet or knit? Well, the knitting, just because I was in 4-H and that's what we did. But when I got back into it, I guess just to have, I taught for my career. I taught middle school for over 12 years, and then I taught elementary 4th grade for over 15 years. So it was just and I was always forever doing paperwork. Not just grading papers, but planning and all, getting stuff prepared, all the stuff that goes into teaching. So guess it started just as a way to relax, get away from that a little bit. Though it was hard to. You had to stay on top of things. But so I really didn't get majorly into it till, like I said, till I retired. But just as a hobby, something fun to do and a way to relax. And it was interesting. It was fun. And it still is. And what made me want to learn to crochet was another hobby that my buddies were doing it, and it looked interesting and fun and a lot faster. So, and my daughters, I taught both of them to knit when they were young, but they decided that they liked crochet a lot better. So they were kind of inspirational too, I guess. What's the first thing that I crocheted and or knitted? I'm really not sure. I think it was a scarf on the knitted way back when, and I'm sure it looked atrocious. But I remember out of that book, and there's marks and stuff there where I had tally marks to keep up with my rows and stuff on a baby blanket. And there's a picture of that in that book too. Darn, I wish I'd brought that over, but anyway. And the first thing I crocheted, I'm really not sure. Probably a scarf there as well. Unless it was a washcloth. Probably something small. Let's see. And number 5 is what's the last thing I crocheted and or knitted. Baby blanket on the knitting. It's right over there. But you saw it. The Tutti Frutti striped ice cream for little Quinn Rose, who was Mama Swift's little grandbaby. And I'm also knitting out of the Dollar Tree chenille. None of this stuff I have right here with me. But y'all saw it. I showed it just yesterday on live. But it's just color blocks of pastels. But it feels so good, so soft. So that on the knitting. Crocheted. What was the last thing I crocheted? Probably last finished thing I crocheted was probably a tam. The Outlander inspired tam, maybe. I mean, I've been crocheting, but y'all know how I am about starting stuff. And the finished thing is a thing of rarity for GrannyDee. Let's see. 6, what's the last stitch or technique that you learned how to crochet or knit? Oh my Lord. Y'all know I'm boring. I stay with the same stuff all the time. Last stitch or technique I learned how to crochet or knit. We all know moss stitch and crochet, and that's one I've stuck with. But let's see. Houndstooth I have tried, which is just a double crochet and then a single crochet. Double crochet, single crochet. And mine ended up curling a lot for some reason. So I think I'm too tight on that. So that's something I want to do. Houndstooth. And it's an easy thing to do, which I'm all about. In the last technique I learned how to knit. I know how to cable. I don't do it much, but I do know how. I'm not sure on the knitting. Maybe it'll come to me. What am I currently crocheting and or knitting? Well, knitting that baby blanket, but also this is a it's the lace 1-row repeat that I did, like I said, for the Advent calendar. It was really easy and it looks cool. I don't have as much to show you that you can really tell what it looks like. If you go back on my Advent, what was it, Vlogmas, you can see those. I actually finished 2 scarves, 2 very long scarves, using my Shapia's little bonbons. So they were scarves of many colors. And what I'm currently crocheting is probably rectangular wrapping in mouse stitch, but like I say, I've been messing around with houndstooth too. What is something I want to learn how to crochet and or knit? I want to learn to do knitting socks for sure, and wearables. Crochet, same thing. I'm supposed to be doing actually working on a pair of baby crocheted socks. But I'd say wearables. I'd be tickled to death if I could make just a summer top or something. Let's see. Same with knit too. Number 9, what has been my worst frogging experience with crochet and or knitting? I'm not sure that it's so much a frogging experience as just I had some hand-dyed yarn, some yarn that I dyed myself. It was darn good yarn, and it was fingering weight. Or actually, no, it was lace weight. And it really turned out pretty. It was sort of a turquoise and kind of a raspberry and tan. And it was so I had done, well, one skein I'd already done. There were like 300 yards in each one, and I was going to do some kind of little wrap or shawlette or something. And the one was fine. When I dyed, and that was one of my first dyeing experiences, so I didn't tie it as much as I should have. But the one wasn't nearly as tangled. The other one was awful tangled. I couldn't get it undone, and then somebody offered to untangle it for me, so I sent it to them. Did I ever get it back? No. She said she lost it, I guess. I just had to let it go. It worried me for a little bit, but so I really didn't have any more to finish that thing that I wanted to make. And you know, when I dye something, it can't really be repeated. I could do it again, but I'm sure it wouldn't turn out the same. So that, but just, you know, stuff tangling up is a pain in the hiney. 10, what project have I crocheted or knitted that I've been most proud of? In crochet, most definitely that witch hat. And that was from Bag a Day. And I was just tickled, you know whatless, that I could make such a cool thing. That thing was so tall. And I used the bright, I think it was called Bright Stripe or something, and Red Heart Super Saver, so it had some stiffness to it. So it actually stood up on its own. But you could kind of crinkle it around. I kind of fooled around with it and said it was my Dr. Seuss hat. So definitely that, and that was crochet. I guess a shawl. I did you remember that 2020 thing? We started it, a project. We were starting it on December 20th, I think. And it was supposed to go through January 20th. I think that's right. But mine ended up going to the end. Mine was a 2031 project, but I did finish it. And it was that triangular knitted shawl that I do all the time, but it was in ice yarn. Wasn't rock and roll. What was it? Oh shoot! It's the color was pink gold, and it had a sheen to it. Doggone if I could think of the name of it right now. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about, maybe. It was really pretty, and it ended up being donated to hashtag Our Gifts of Love for Sharon from Sharon's Crochet Corner, and she ended up winning it, so that was kind of cool. It was small, more of a shawlette, but it was. I was proud that I finished something, you know. That's always a proud moment. But that witch hat was great. And I really want to do, and I don't know why I keep putting, I remember watching the tutorial several times, that poncho that Dana Triple C has done a bunch of, and other folks have too. It's Bod's. I'll get the number wrong. 483 or 384. I think it was called the Easy Mint shawl, and I guess Bod made it out of the mint color or something. I think that was in the title of it. But it's just a real lacy looking poncho, and it was made with shawl and a ball, which I have quite a bit of. So I want to make that. But I don't know what's holding me up. I guess just projects that I need to get. Real easy projects that shouldn't take anybody. Wouldn't take anybody else any time to do, but it takes GrannyDee forever and a day to get stuff done. It's for relaxation, and I do. It puts me right to sleep. But anyway, I love, 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 and enjoy it immensely, crocheting and knitting, and I really enjoy having my little channel, and love, love, love all of my squirrels in the Squirrel Squad. Thank you, Connie. Y'all go check out Connie Just Another Stitch to see how she answered these questions. And y'all know I hardly ever tag anybody on these. I just say, if you want to do it, do it. It's fun. These are some good questions, Connie. Thanks. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all for listening. Love ya. Be sweet. Don't be ugly. Bye-bye.